Close your eyes for just a moment and imagine your garden at the height of summer. Now imagine something is wrong. The vines are struggling, the fruit never forms, and you have no idea why. The answer may be right beside it. In the garden, proximity is everything, and with watermelon, a plant that asks for open space, warm soil and energetic freedom, the wrong neighbor can silently undo weeks of care. Today, we are naming the 7 plants that most gardeners unknowingly place right beside their watermelon. Some will surprise you, because they look like they belong there, but they don't. The ancient wisdom of companion planting has always understood this truth. Not every plant is a neighbor, some are disruptors. These 7 plants fall into 3 distinct categories, and understanding why they cause damage is what separates a garden that struggles from one that thrives. Category 1. The soil poisoners. Plants that release allelopathic compounds into the earth, chemicals that quietly suppress your watermelon's root development before it even begins. Category 2. The resource rivals. Heavy feeders and thirsty growers that drain the water and nutrients your watermelon needs at its most critical moments. Category 3. The disease bridges. Plants that share vulnerabilities, turning your garden soil into a quiet highway for pests and infection. And at the end of this video, I will hand you a cheat sheet, a complete watermelon harmony guide you can take into your garden today. Stay with me. Plant number 1, and I need you to hear this clearly. Fennel is perhaps the most disruptive plant you can place anywhere near your watermelon. In fact, near almost anything in your garden. Here is what the science tells us. Fennel produces a compound called anethole, a volatile essential oil that leaches directly into the surrounding soil through its root exudates. When watermelon roots encounter this chemical, they experience what scientists call allelopathic inhibition. Nutrient absorption slows, root development stalls, and the plant begins to show stress even in otherwise healthy conditions. Gardeners notice this as wilting in the heat of the day when every other plant looks perfectly fine. They reach for the hose. But water is not the problem. The soil chemistry is. Fennel belongs alone, in its own container, far from the garden sanctuary. Treat it as a beautiful hermit, wonderful in its place, disruptive everywhere else. Plant number 2 may surprise you. Because we love sunflowers, they are generous, luminous, and spiritually joyful, but next to watermelon they become something else entirely. Sunflowers release compounds called heliannuols from their root systems, allelopathic chemicals that measurably suppress the germination and growth of neighboring cucurbit crops. That includes watermelon, cucumber, and squash. But there is a second layer of harm. Sunflowers are extraordinary water competitors. In the heat of July and August, precisely when your watermelon needs deep, consistent moisture to swell its fruit, sunflowers are drinking first, and drinking deeply. Give sunflowers their own sanctuary, at least 8 feet from your watermelon patch. They will still bring you joy, from a respectful distance. Plant number 3 is one that confuses many gardeners because it feels like it belongs. Cucumber and watermelon are botanical cousins. Both are members of the Cucurbitaceae family, and that shared family is exactly the problem. When you plant them together, you invite every shared predator to the same table. Cucumber beetles, one of the most destructive garden pests, are drawn to the family's chemical signature. When both plants grow together, the beetle population concentrates and spreads bacterial wilt between them like a chain reaction. And then there is the matter of space. Both plants are ambitious spreaders. Their vines tangle, compete for airflow, and create the precise humid conditions that invite powdery mildew to take hold. Plant your cucumbers on the opposite side of the garden. Let each inhabit its own territory, its own energy. Plant number 4 carries the same family risk as cucumber, but adds an entirely new dimension of harm. Squash and zucchini are extraordinary spreaders. A single zucchini plant can cover 6 to 8 square feet within weeks. Their broad leaves create deep, sustained shade. And watermelon is a sun-hungry plant. It requires 8 to 10 hours of direct light daily to produce sweet, full fruit. Reduced sunlight means reduced photosynthesis. Reduced photosynthesis means less sugar production. And what is a watermelon without sweetness? Just water. Beyond the shade, squash shares the same soil-borne diseases, Phytophthora root rot, gummy stem blight. One infected plant silently contaminates the soil the other depends on. Separate them. Give each plant the breathing room it was designed to inhabit. Plant number 5 is an entire plant family, and every member of it is a rival. Brassicas, broccoli, cabbage, kale, Brussels sprouts are what growers call heavy feeders. They pull nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium from the soil at an extraordinary rate. And watermelon, especially during the fruit swelling phase, needs those same nutrients in abundance. When both are planted together, the brassicas, with their faster, more aggressive root systems, almost always win. The watermelon fruit that results is smaller, less sweet, and slow to mature. There is also a pH conflict. Brassicas prefer a slightly lower soil pH. Watermelon thrives between 6.0 and 6.8. Plant them together, and neither grows in its optimal soil chemistry. The garden teaches us, when resources are shared without wisdom, both suffer. Give each plant its sovereign space. Plant number 6 is perhaps the most dangerous on this list, not because of what it takes, but because of what it carries. Potatoes harbor a particular susceptibility to late blight, caused by the pathogen Phytophthora infestans. This same pathogen, and others in the Phytophthora genus, can cross into cucurbit crops, including watermelon, particularly during the warm, humid weeks of midsummer. When potatoes grow in close proximity to watermelon, the soil becomes a shared highway. A single, wet week can trigger an outbreak that travels from one plant to the other with devastating speed. Potato beetles will also occasionally migrate to cucurbit crops when their primary host is stressed or harvested, adding pest pressure at the worst possible time. Keep these two plants far apart. The risk is not theoretical. It has been documented in organic growing trials across the United States. Our 7th disruptor is a plant that many gardeners have actually been told belongs with their vegetables. The Three Sisters, corn, beans, and squash, is a beautiful indigenous planting tradition, but watermelon is not part of that sacred trio, and when it wanders too close to corn, it pays the price. Corn grows 6, 7, 8 feet tall. Planted on the south or west side of your watermelon patch, it becomes a literal sky wall, blocking the full sun your fruit needs to sweeten. The competition goes deeper. During corn's pollination phase, midsummer, precisely when watermelon is setting fruit, corn is pulling water and nitrogen at maximum demand. Both root systems occupy similar soil depths, direct competition at the most critical growth window. Corn earworm moths, drawn to corn during the season, will also probe neighboring plants, including watermelon, creating unexpected pest pressure in an otherwise protected garden. Plant corn, at least 10 to 12 feet away, or on the north side of your space, where its shadow falls away from your plants, not over them. Before we go deeper into the practice of protecting your garden's harmony, I want to share something that has changed how I approach every planting season. Everything we've discussed today, the chemical disruptions, the nutrient competition, the disease pathways, all of it begins in the soil. The products I use every season to maintain the right soil chemistry are linked in the description below. These are tools I trust and return to year after year. Now I want to offer you something deeper than a list of plants to avoid. In the tradition of mindful gardening, there is a principle that most modern guides overlook, the concept of energetic sovereignty. Every plant carries a sphere of influence, a zone of chemical signals, root exudates, and moisture absorption that radiates outward from its center. When we crowd plants together without understanding those zones, we are not gardening, we are creating invisible conflict. The watermelon is a plant that asks for space, not just physical space, but what traditional farmers across South Asia have long called breathing room. Room for the soil to warm evenly, room for air to move through the canopy, room for the vine to find its own path without interference. When you remove the 7 disruptors from your watermelon's proximity, you are not simply avoiding problems, you are creating the conditions for the plant to become what it was always designed to be. This is the practice of intentional companion planting, not just pairing what helps, but honoring the space of what thrives alone. I have created your Watermelon Harmony Guide, a complete cheat sheet you can download for free from the link in the description. Here is exactly what is inside. For each of the 7 disruptors you will find the plant name and its harm category, soil poisoner, resource rival, or disease bridge. The science, the exact compound or mechanism causing the disruption, written simply and clearly. Safe distance, precisely how far to relocate each plant so your watermelon patch can live in peace. And the Zen ritual, a brief, mindful planting practice to reset your garden's energy as you reorganize your space this season. The link is in the description and pinned in the comments below. Download it before your next planting day. Your watermelon will feel the difference. Your garden is a sanctuary, and like all sanctuaries, it asks for intentionality, the wisdom to know not just what to welcome in, but what to respectfully ask to live elsewhere. The watermelon has been grown for over 4,000 years, across the savannas of ancient Africa, the gardens of Egypt, the river valleys of India. For most of that time, growers understood instinctively what we are only now rediscovering through science. Space is not emptiness. Space is where the plant breathes. Tell me in the comments, which of the 7 surprised you most? I read every single message. If this brought value to your garden and your practice, share it with someone who is planting their watermelon this season. And subscribe. Every week, this is where plant science and spiritual wisdom come home. And when you are ready to discover which plants do belong beside your watermelon, that video is right here. I will see you there.